Hello and welcome back to the Full Time Ultras. I've just finished watching the Chelsea versus Tottenham game, and what a win for the Blues. 2-0 at the bridge against. Wait, what was the name of the top?
Top Spur?
No, no.
What's that?
2-0 clinical victory, 3 points in the bag against Tottenham Hotspur in the London Derby. So, overall, a great result for the Blues. And let's take a deeper dive into how the game went and what are my honest reactions to that game as a Chelsea fan. Now, Chelsea started the first half very, very, very brightly. We were able to dissect their defense through crossfield balls, long balls over the top, beating the high press, which was very similar to what we did in the reverse fixture at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, and Postecoglou was stunned. Like, he was really, really frustrated and angry with his players, the lack of effort. They weren't pressing collectively as a group, and we were easily able to dissect that. We created a couple of good chances, starting off with Nicholas Jackson's attempt one on one through on goal against Vicario. He tried to put it through the keeper's legs, but he didn't quite get it right. And I think, like, personally, he should have finished that. But we started putting the pressure on from then, and then it was just a very good spell for us, like 10-15 minute spell, where we just went attack after attack after attack after attack. Madueke and Mudrik, our wingers, were phenomenal in the first half. They managed to beat the men in one-on-ones. Great through balls by Mudrik to find Kukurea or even Nicholas Jackson on a couple of occasions. But I think we were just not able to get our decision right in the final third. But then an excellent goal to get us the breakthrough, thanks to Trevor Chalobah. I mean, when we got that free kick, like, I personally, and I guess everybody watching, was like, this is too far away to get anything out of it. But then, as the free kick was being taken, I could just see, like, they had left Benoit Badiashile and Trevor Chalobah unmarked at the edge of the penalty area. And I was like, there's a real opportunity there. And Conor Gallagher, excellent ball. He found Trevor Chalobah, free header, and what a header that was. Looping into the far right corner. Vicario couldn't have done anything to stop that. I mean, that just got us the breakthrough that we needed. And to be honest, talking about the goal, my opinion was that, I mean, what was Spurs doing? I mean, today's my day off. I slept almost the entire day, and my mom was going off at me for sleeping a lot. Well, I did it on my day off. Spurs players did it on a football pitch for 90 minutes. They were sleeping in the defense. I mean, you got two defenders who are probably going to be at the end of that cross, standing unmarked behind you, and nobody's just asked anyone to mark them. I mean, if I see that, I'm shouting at the top of my voice, asking my teammates to go and get behind, mark them, but they were just sleeping. And so we got that goal, got us ahead in the tie. Postecoglou furious, and I was just loving it in the first half. Spurs managed to get a very, very good chance at the end of that first half through Christian Romero. I mean, he got a very good header, free header. I mean, not free header, but he did really well to get the leap right, get the contact right, and he just couldn't get it on target. And from that distance, I think he should have done better to score that. But lucky for Chelsea, that didn't go in, because if that went in, it would have changed the second half completely. So Spurs missed that golden opportunity in the first half, and I think it came back to haunt them. Moving on to the second half, I'm pretty sure Postecoglou had a very passionate team talk in the half during the halftime, and he stuck it to his players. You could see that on the pitch. As soon as the second half started, Tottenham was a different group altogether. They were pressing collectively. They were running more. They were pushing for the ball. You could see them that they had finally woken up after that first half slumber. And we were really struggling. We were struggling to keep hold of the ball. We tried to do the same thing that we did with the long balls over the top, but we just couldn't find the men, or just couldn't keep hold of the ball if we actually got the pass right. So I was really frustrated at that point. Like, what was Pochettino thinking? What was he trying to do? But because I was at that moment, my opinion was we should just keep hold for the ball for a bit, just keep the calm, absorb some pressure, take the sting out of the game, and then try and push for a second goal. But it was obvious, like, Poch, as we have seen earlier, he's not going to wait. Even if we are 2-0, 3-0 up, he's still going to ask his players to go and try and attack and get another one. And that's what we kept on trying. Tottenham got into really good positions. I think what they failed to capitalize on was the space that they got on the right hand side of the front three, with Brennan Johnson and Pedro Porro having acres of space. You know, Kukurea was going forward. Kukurea was playing a lot more centrally, which left a lot of space on the right wing for Spurs. They got the ball there a lot of times. Like Chelsea were happy to let them have the ball out wide, but they failed to capitalize on that. Not enough quality on the balls played into the middle, and there was Richarlison, like he wasn't really there to attack the ball even if it came in. So I think Tottenham really failed to capitalize on the space and time that they got on the ball in the attacking half. And but they did manage to make some really good chances, some comfortable saves for Petrovic though, like nothing really threatening that much. And there wasn't any notable chances, I think, that should have gone in from Spurs. We did well defensively. Trevor Chalobah, man of the match performance, really solid at the back. I was worried about Shield, given the last couple of performances he's had, but I have to talk about Mark Cucurella. What a game he's had. A lion at the back, like even going forward, he was passing the ball brilliantly, managing to find Mudryk, Nicholas Jackson on several occasions, and defensively he was a rock. I mean, he was, even though he let Brennan Johnson and Pedro Porro have the ball, every time they tried to dribble past him, they failed. I mean, those interceptions, those blocks, it was just phenomenal from Marco Correa. And for once, like after a very, very, very long time, I could see the passion in the players. You know, there was this one occasion where Trevor Chalobah managed to block a shot which actually looked like it was going in from Spurs. He managed to block that shot and he was celebrating that with Kukurea. And after a long time, as a Chelsea fan, I really love to see things like that. So it really showed that the players wanted this. It's something about the game against Spurs that really gets these guys on. I mean, on the 8th anniversary of the infamous Battle at the Bridge, we actually turned up with desire and passion and hunger to win the game after a long, long time. So that was really good to see. Now, as the second half progressed, Cole Palmer, who had been pretty much absent in that first half, he grew into the game more. He was linking up well with Noni Madueke at the right wing, and they were causing a bit of trouble to the Spurs defense. Emerson Royal was no match for both of them. I mean, Madueke was just beating his man for fun the entire night. He had a really good game for me. And so Cole Palmer grew into the game, got a chance, shot it really wide, tried to curl it with his left foot, but it was far off the target. But then that second goal, I mean, that free kick by Cole Palmer, what a absolute banger of a shot that was. I mean, while watching, my initial reaction after that free kick hit the post was like, how did that not go in? It would have been an excellent goal. But then Nicholas Jackson followed it up with a very powerful and precise header. I mean, that's not easy to do. That's a very difficult header to get right. But he was the quickest to react, got to the ball, headed it into the far left corner, and then Vicario, Son, they were just not quick enough to react. Son and Hoiberg, they were practically wrestling each other trying to stop the ball, but they both managed to just get in each other's way and did not manage to get a real attempt at stopping that goal. But we have to talk about Nicholas Jackson. I mean, he's received a lot of stick in the last few weeks. I mean, fair criticism to be honest, but to turn up with that, be so game aware, be so sharp to react to that ball so quickly and head it so precisely into that corner, he has to be appreciated for that. And the proper Didier Drogba style celebration at the end, it was just lovely to see. But again, for that second goal, I think Spurs were again just sleeping. I mean, no matter if it's a free kick or a corner or whatever, you've got to mark your men. And there was nobody marking Nicholas Jackson. By the time Son realized, okay, the ball was coming back into the play and there is a Chelsea man there waiting to attack that ball, it was probably too late. So I think now, I don't know if you could count that second goal as a set piece goal for Chelsea, but if it was, now Tottenham have conceded the third most goals through set pieces in this season. So there has to be some serious conversations about Tottenham's set piece defending. The first one from a set piece, great header. Second one from a set piece on the rebound, great header again. So two really awesome goals for Chelsea. And after that one, it kind of killed off the game. I mean, Spurs did try to push for a goal, get that pressure on Chelsea, but our subs as well. Now, that's a topic that I'm going to be heading into next. So, the Chelsea squad. The Chelsea squad for this game, we had 14 senior players out injured, the maximum number that we have had this season. And if you look at that bench, it was all our under 18s and Premier League 2 team, with the exception of Marcus Bettinelli, the 40-year-old in there as the backup keeper. Everybody else had probably played just a couple of matches of senior football in their careers. You know, apart from Cesar Casadei, I hope I got the name right. I mean, he was the only one who's featured a bit more regularly for Chelsea and Leicester in the Championship, of course, this season. But everybody else had hardly been with the senior team. And for them, like Achimpong and Casadei to come on at the end of the game, defend properly, and Achimpong got a really great block there at the end. So it was good experience for them. When I saw the squad list at the beginning of the before the game, I was like, "That's it. We are done. We are getting thrashed." Because if something happens, we've got no cover on the bench, nobody to come on and probably have a good impact on the game. But kudos to Pochettino, kudos to the junior level coaching staff. They've done well, the academy staff, and this is what they prepare for. That in case the opportunity arises, for the young players to turn up on the day and give a solid performance, and they managed to do that. So really, really impressive for as a Chelsea fan. So now that win leaves Chelsea in 8th position, 2 points of a Conference League spot and 3 points of a Europa League spot. I mean, who would have thought halfway through the season that we are going to be actually challenging for those European spots? But let's look at the run-in now. Chelsea hosts West Ham on the weekend, and then they have Forest away, Brighton away, and then they host Bournemouth on the last match day of the season. So not too difficult actually. If we actually manage to play the way that we played tonight, for us, I mean, it's European football is an actual possibility, especially if you look at the fixtures of the team ahead of us. Now, Newcastle in 7th, 2 points ahead of us. They still got to play United, who is in 6th, 3 points ahead of us, and United still got to play Arsenal. So tough fixtures for them. But so I think if we really manage to play our cards right, European football is an actual possibility for Chelsea, which at this point I'd actually take welcome with open arms, you know. I mean, any kind of European football is good for these clubs, good for the experience for these young players. So we've got an exciting run in, not just for the title with Arsenal and Man City, but for the European spots as well. And Tottenham, for them, I think they're going to have to settle for a Europa League spot. They have basically bottled the Champions League qualification. They're 7 points off Villa, who are in 4th. And now that it's confirmed that Premier League is not receiving an extra Champions League spot for next season, I think it's going to be really difficult for them to make up that gap of 7 points. So, incredible result for Chelsea. Disappointing one for Tottenham, as has been their recent form. So, that's it for this match's reaction. Now, join us over the weekend, after the weekend, for our review of the Premier League match day. Again, if you like the video, do not forget to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of May. So every subscriber counts, every like counts. So hit that button, man.